Welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel, everyone. This is Rich, making another video on XRP today, as usual. So, wherever you are in this vast planet, I hope you're all having a nice day today. We're going to speak about XRP, and I've got to start with this from Michael Branch, Ripple Swift replacement price prediction. This has shocked a lot of experts and investors because recent executive remarks have given XRP to $15,000 scenarios some support right now. The story even included citations to the crypto police. Bitcoin, according to Eddie, they were able to gain access to conventional banking systems, negating the need for archaic middleman services. She's discussing the acquisition of the hidden road. She continued by saying that, although XRP is a fundamental component of the Ripple payment system, the business aims to provide clients with what they desire. However, what about the projected price of $15,000? You see, the price of XRP fluctuates daily, even if it only slightly increases. People immediately become aroused. This is the moment, they say. We've been waiting for this breakout. Will Swift now be replaced by Ripple? At the moment, that is the key question. Ripple's growth rate is constant. Stated differently, tracks are being installed all over the world and are expanding at a startling rate. However, what on earth is Swift doing? Utilizing technology to modernize business operations. Significant changes could be brought about by emerging technologies. Regulation and standardization are also very important. And you may truly turn corporate actions into a driver of efficiency and industry trust if you combine these initiatives with a dedication to transparency and collaboration, which you should. She mentions blockchain and artificial intelligence while discussing upcoming technologies, and she hopes to see cooperation. At Swift, they now wish to update the system. Do you understand why they wish to work together? Since they consider Ripple's technology to be a serious danger, they consider XRP to be a serious danger. You must keep in mind that Swift still charges fees of up to 10% of the money you send, often much more, and that sending money abroad would take 2 to 3 days. Occasionally, the transaction fails during the process. They wish to work together now because of this. Will Ripple and Swift work together then? Early on, I believe they will. Consider it this way. From the inside out, how do you overcome something else? Therefore, Ripple will only keep criticizing Swift if they move ahead and work with her in the future. And at some point, Ripple will come out from under Swift. They'll simply take over Swift's entire company. The move to ISO 222 has been made by Deutsche Bank, community of NodeSwift. A video shows how the bank has improved the entire experience for customers and businesses, decreased conflicts, and increased payment clarity. Since this is the year that we finally get to know what kind of value ISO 222 will provide, you'll see more of this throughout the year. When ISO goes live, you want to be holding those cryptocurrencies. The fact that they are all compliant networks is, in my opinion, very significant. People could minimize it as much as they choose, but that is really huge, in my opinion. Miles has authored numerous articles on token taxonomy and the significance of differentiating between network and company-backed tokens. On our most recent edition of Crypto America, he informed me that he believes XRP to be a network token. Eleanor Tourette is the source of this. Listen to it. What category would you give XRP? Without a doubt, I believe that XRP is a network token. I believe that when you consider how we discussed the differences between a network token and a company-backed token, there were ultimately 3 questions that we examined. Is the network accessible? Which, in my opinion, clearly applies to XRP. Are token orders subject to network effects? Once more, I believe that to be the case. Then, are the system's economics included into it? I also believe that to be unquestionably true. The demand for XRP fuels that ecosystem's expansion. Therefore, it seems to me that it quite obviously fits the concept of a network token. What exactly is a network token then? A blockchain or smart contract protocol's programmatic operation is connected to and provides value for network tokens. Network tokens frequently feature built-in functionality They can be employed in network operations to encourage network activity, establish consensus, or plan protocol updates. The value of these tokens is determined by economic mechanisms, which are frequently and typically present in the networks to which they belong. Programmatic buybacks, dividends, and other exchanges to the entire token supply through token generation are examples of these. In order to provide inflationary and deflationary pressures for the network, faucets act as sinks for burning. XRP is a wonderful fit for that description. Additionally, consider Ripple. What are they doing? That escrow is always locked back. Additionally, they use XRP to increase its usefulness through purchases. Without a doubt, XRP is a network asset with built-in functionality, and for that reason, XRP is a fantastic cryptocurrency. The first bank to sign up for the Temenos Partner Program is Standard Chartered. For retail banks, wealth managers, and payment providers that handle large volume or low-value transactions that fall outside of their treasury role, the integration relieves the burden on internal IT resources. Financial institutions will also be able to connect numerous payment sources, channels, clearing networks, and distribution services on a single platform by integrating the Standard Charter's aggregation liquidity engine scale with other domestic and international payment rails when paired with Temenos Payment Hub. We already know that Ripple and Standard Charter are compatible. Temenos has also collaborated with Ripple. However, listen to this explanation of the current state of blockchain technology. I haven't heard a better description in a long time than this one. Okay, hello everyone. I would like to ask everyone who has heard of the blockchain to raise their hands. All right, almost everyone. How many of you here have actually witnessed a blockchain event? Almost no one. In other words, I like to compare blockchain to high school sex. Everyone claims to be doing it. Everyone believes that others are doing it. However, no one is taking any action. Today, we will demonstrate how the blockchain functions in an actual transaction using the 24. The present legacy systems that banks are accustomed to using for foreign payments are what you see here. There are several hops, relevant banks in between, float accounts kept all over the place. The issue with that is that it's a legacy system that was functional when transactions had a low volume but a big dollar amount. But thanks to remittances and small to medium-sized business-to-business transactions, the world has transformed. You require a lot of transactions, yet small sums of money. Thus, this system is no longer functional. It's also really problematic. It is very slow, expensive. 10–15% of transactions are erroneous, and 14% of wire transfers are incorrect. 3 days to 2 weeks for a settlement, not only for the customer, but also for your banks on the back end. I'll wait for a Hong Kong wire to arrive in 2 weeks. Thus, we will concentrate on the potential of the blockchain. Here, a bank connects to the T24 at one end, and Bluezil technology uses the T24 to communicate with the Ripple network, a blockchain that uses the Ripple protocol and transfer funds abroad. Thus, it is evident that they are making use of the Ripple technology. You can also observe how much faster it is. And David Schwartz was also discussing that topic. The legacy system there, is based on the notion that individuals transmit big sums of money and do very few transactions. Many transactions are being made these days, however, some of them are for tiny sums of money, such as micropayments. And that's what's revolutionizing XRP because micropayments can be handled at any time. As the